Hello, everyone. Welcome to my presentation. And my name is Xixing Zhang, and my presentation name is Macau pre-1999. Let's begin. Let's watch a video of the City of Fun at the first.
This might look like Las Vegas, but it's far from it. This small peninsula of land is China's answer to Sin City, and with gaming revenue that's 5 times that of the Las Vegas Strip, it's become one of the wealthiest places on Earth. Macau is rich, and it's only getting richer, with the International Monetary Fund tipping it to surpass Qatar as the wealthiest place on Earth by 2020. So how did it get so rich? One word: gambling. Macau is located off the southern coast of China, about 40 miles from Hong Kong, and its gaming history can be traced back all the way to the 16th century. Macau is a former Portuguese colony, and when its role as a trading port began to fall behind Hong Kong, the Portuguese government decided to legalize gambling in 1847 to give it an edge. It remained under Portuguese control until 1999, when it was formally handed over back to China. And while it's technically part of China, it's known as a special administrative region, which means it has its own rules and economic freedoms. Casinos and pool betting are illegal throughout China, but not Macau, which is why it's become a hotspot for China's high rollers. Macau quickly grew as a gambling hub. In 2003, the number of visitors from mainland China began to surge as travel restrictions loosened and hundreds of millions of Chinese citizens were lifted out of poverty. And Macau's gaming revenue and GDP thrived along with it. There's not a lot of land here in Macau, and yet it has a population of about 650,000, making it one of the most densely populated places on Earth. Its small population relative to its economy means its GDP per capita is high. By 2020, Macau's GDP will reach around $143,000 per person. Compare that with Qatar, which is projected to be $139,000, followed by Luxembourg at $118,000. Vegas is big, Macau tries to be bigger. This is the Venetian. It's twice the size of its sister casino in Las Vegas, and it's the largest casino resort in the world. The gaming industry here in Macau has brought in more money than Las Vegas for the past 10 years now. In fact, the majority of profits for both Vegas-based Las Vegas Sands and Wynn Resorts come from Macau. In 2017, Macau accounted for 53% of adjusted earnings for Las Vegas Sands and 71% for Wynn Resorts.
All right, guys. Let's continue to the introduction of the history of Macau. First, without gambling, is my feeling about Macau. Macau is a rare treasure, and a surprise can be discovered every time. Compared with the fast-paced Hong Kong next door, Macau is more like a small city that is half time slow. Although pocket-sized, it is also exquisite, and its unique Portuguese historical buildings, the modern cuisine combining Chinese and Western styles, and a magnificent hotel and entertainment industry. There are more Asian time-honored brands with more distinctive old street and souvenir shop. Everything is suitable for a holiday and for a holiday trip. Macau is a city that can be measured with feet. When you mention Macau, you might first think of the Magnificent Casino, but if your knowledge of Macau is only the gambling city and slot machine, then you're out. Macau's history before 1999. Since the December of 1999, the Portuguese rule of Macau ended, and it was replaced by the government of Macau Special Administrative Region, with the population growth in mainland China and decline of the traditional Macau community. Macau is establishing a new identity for itself to become the indispensable part of China the Portuguese colonial rule for nearly 450 years has begun to disappear from the collective memory of Macau. It is hard to believe that it wasn't many years ago. A long time before that, Macau was rural landscape of the one magnificent Portuguese empire, the outpost of the picture postcards. Now we're getting to the gaming history development. As a pillar industry of the Macau economy, Macau's gambling industry occupies an extremely important position in Macau's economic structure. The importance of Macau gambling industry is reflected in the gaming industry tax revenue accounting for more than 80% of the government's revenue. It is the leading industry in Macau's economy, creating a livelihood for more than three-quarters of Macau's population in the 5 years since the opening of gambling rights. The history of Macau's casinos can be tracked back to the 16th centuries. Time revolved, and it is difficult to realize, but this former Portuguese enclave still has the unparalleled appeal. It must emphasize that this is the only legal gambling place, the city in China. Now we're getting to the gambling laws, forms, and important notes. First, the laws. We're going to talk about the violence problem. The violence problem is the same problem between Vegas and for both Vegas and Macau. In 1997, a gambling inspector was hit twice outside the floating casino of the Macau Palace. Although he left several pretty scared scars, he survived. At that time, the weak government interventions were severely civilized. The basic problem is that the Portuguese government really doesn't want to run the city. However, the bloodshed and the violence of 1999 and the 1990s are unlikely to happen again. I think it is impossible to go back to the situation in the 90s because the atmosphere is different. If Macau needs help, it can ask the central government. To achieve the long-term prosperity and stability in Macau, it is necessary to take the path of the monetary diversified economic development. For example, promoted gaming companies to develop non-gaming elements to attract non-gaming tourism. Diversity to the source market to meet the goals of the building a world tourism and leisure center. For the responsible for the gambling, the regulation of the conditions for the entering, staying, and gambling in the casinos. The influence of the economy. Let's see the picture of the picture here. It shows the GDP between Hong Kong and Macau. Macau is it's increased like two times more than Hong Kong. Macau's gaming industry has a huge relationship with Macau's economy and plays a pivotal role in Macau's economy. It can be said that the gaming industry in Macau is the leading industry. Not only has Macau's unique status emergence as an Oriental Las Vegas deeply rooted in the heart of the people, but the gaming industry role is driving Macau's economy as a whole, and its contribution to the government taxation and citations employment cannot be underestimated. The wealthy have been raised in wealth, while the population has been troubled with a high property price and have no hope to going upstairs. The triggering heightened concerns of the Social Security directly affecting social welfare is another problem. Now we're going to the casinos in Macau. If you're a Chinese, the first name you hear probably is the Grand Lisbon Casino because it is more famous than the others in the notebook. The Grand Lisbon Hotel under SJM, sitting on the prosperous Macau urban landscape, has the distinctive lotus architectural design, and as one of the most ironic buildings in the area, it has become a tourism destination in Macau. The 258 meters high splendid building, the huge golden lotus shape is shining and dazzling. The upper wide and the lower narrow design is unique, and it can be moving. It can be moved, and like the bright lotus blooming in the middle of the bustling city, illuminating the scenery of the Macau. The most of the overall architectural evolutions of the Grand Lisbon Hotel are related to the feng shui theory. It's a traditional Chinese stuff, including the sharpened knife. You can see in the picture, like a it's kind of like a decorate, but it has a meaning. Means when you play with fours, you can kill all the threes and win their money. The giant color changing act in the casino, it means the gathering the customers. The money shaped spotlighting the casino, meaning the money is on the top. The internet likes the declaration for the enter casino table, meaning that the guests all fall into the spiders, and they cannot be fly with the wings, meaning the customer and the money stay where they're at. Let's continue with the Venetian. The Venetian Macau Casino occupies an area for 10.5 million square feet and has 3,000 luscious suites. It figures the water village of the Venetian in Italy and the famous status. The resort hotel is owned and operated by the Vietnam Macau, and its architecture figures follow the Vietnam Hotel in the Las Vegas, USA. The hotel is based on the theme of Water Village for Venice. Since the concept of the Venice Macau Resort Hotel is diverged from the Vietnam Resort Hotel in Las Vegas, it has always been regarded as a copy of the latter. Now we're getting the conclusion. Why does Macau need gambling? China is so big and has a population of 1.4 billion people. I think there's need for a place to gamble for the people, even if there's no Macau. The people will go to other places to gambling. For example, recent year, Malaysia and Singapore are being newly established and every day thinking about how to divide Macau's big gambling market. Macau's only 32 kilometers. And if there was no gambling, what would Macau be like? The consequences would be destroyed. Since China needs a casino, is there a more suitable place than Macau? Well, as for me, I don't think so. Why is Macau gambling industry proper? This is in need of a topic worth of discussion. Naturally, the population of the foreigner wealth in the gaming revenue is the lion's share, but the social cost is barely very little. According to Macau's gaming industry, there are billions of people in the surrounding area 2 hours. With 2 hours, 2 hours by the plane from Macau. In addition, the prosperity of Macau's gaming industry has a huge advantage. That is, Macau can open gambling while the mainland bans the gambling. After return to Macau, the gaming tourism industry has made a great step forward, among which the continuous rise of the mainland tourism is the diverse factor. Thanks for your attention. Thanks for watching. Here's my reference. Thank you very much. Have a great day, guys.